Hey guys, well, it's another day out in the barn, mostly the driveway probably, but that will change shortly here because, as I mentioned in last week's video, the Loadstar is going to be going away to the shop at work here very shortly, and actually I'll probably do a little video on it. But my new Diamond C F-Max 212 gooseneck finally came in. I went and picked it up yesterday. It is awesome. It's freaking sweet. So since it's really cold, it's going to be 30s at most in the next few weeks and months for that matter. So I'm not going to drive the Loadstar to the shop. It's also with wherever the oil leak is on the motor and my perpetual leak on the diff and the pinion, it's too far of a drive. Between that and the cold, I just don't want to drive it. It's about 18-20 miles from my house to the shop, so we're not going to do that. So we're gonna throw it on the trailer and take that in. So that'll be probably late this upcoming week sometime, and hopefully with what I get done on the L9000 in the next day or two, we will be able to put that in place of the Loadstar in here. And since that's not ever going to have any drive chain changes or anything like that, it'll be running and driving all the time. It's more, cosmetic type stuff that we're doing to that truck. So as opposed to full off cab swaps and engine swaps and all that good stuff. So we'll be able to pull it in and out. But regardless, the goal for today, I've got a few, or today and tomorrow, this weekend, a few goals. So number one, I've got my relay valve. Came in from Fleet Pride. This was not a cheap relay valve. Probably should have seen if I could order it online, but that's like $156 or some nonsense for that thing. Like I've always been saying, these big trucks, they aren't cheap, guys. Just little stuff like that. So anyway, but we got that. So that's going to be first order of business right now. We're going to get that put on. Then I'm going to jump right into the floors. I've got my sheet metal over here that I picked up a couple weeks back, right down there. And I just want to start cutting out. I'm starting on that passenger side today and see if I can just get it mostly done. I got plenty of welding gas, plenty of cutting wheels, and I just want to get that floor fixed up. Or get it close. So that's going to be the first order of business is floor. Then I can move on to soundproofing, get the final floor in, do some paint on the inside, interior paint. That's just going to be, maybe some, in light of what's going on, which we'll get into this as it comes to fruition. But basically I've worked out a deal with a fellow YouTuber, actually, really, really good guy. And once we make the final deal, we'll see what else we get from him, but made a deal on a couple doors and a hood for the L9000. He's got some stuff that is in much, much better shape. So being the doors are going to come off and the hood's going to be off, we will paint that. When we do the paint this spring, it'll be, that way I can get the mask off the interior and paint the jams, with the gun when I do my base clear and, inside and out of doors. And then the hood inside and out, that'll be off the truck as well. But that leaves, we'll use the International as our example. But, that leaves, your interior jam stuff here, your stuff up along the roof line before you hit the headliner. The L9000 certainly has more trim inside than what the Loadstar does, but you still have stuff where you see body paint. And I'm going to get some, whether I have some spray paint color matched or use a small sprayer or buy some similar match paint to what I'm going to paint the truck. We'll figure it out, but I do want to do that. So anyway, back to the floor though. That means the floor is first order of business. So that's really my goals for this weekend is we'll get that relay valve put on. I bought this 3030, damn, heavy fucker, 3030 brake chamber, but because I've got one that's pretty well rusted on the L9000, but there's actually, it's one of the other things I'm working on is possibly the suspension change on that truck. So if that were to happen, there's no reason to put that 3030 on there. So we're going to hold off on that for now. Same with changing the fluid in that diff. I'm just not going to bother with it in the event that I don't even use that. So regardless, so goals for this weekend are relay valve floor to a point at least. And if I have time, I'll start cutting apart the wrecker body, but I don't know if I'm even that worried about that. We might do that next weekend. I just got to get that done in time to haul scrap. So we'll see. That might be, we might throw the torches in a gate or two and run across there and do that. But regardless, I'll take you along for it. It's a beautiful day. It's a little chilly, but not cold. It's like 35, 36 degrees right now. So I was thinking what I might do is we'll do all the cold starts this morning, only because I've got the old Cummins truck is pulled up here to do some hay hauling for my wife, and I had to pull a salter harness out of it the other day. So that's up front here by the barn. We got the Loadstar sitting here. We got the L9000, and we got Nancy. So I think we're just going to do a quick little montage here, and we'll just fire them all up. Why not? I know how much YouTube loves its cold start videos. So we'll get that done, and then I'll get started on my repairs, and I'll bring you back and show you what we wrap up with here for the day. So we'll start with Nancy, since she's the most boring by far. Alright, well, you guys missed the Cummins truck and the L9000 because I didn't think about it. I had my phone recording video, and when I started Nancy, it connected to the truck and stopped the recording. So maybe we'll get those cold starts tomorrow, but let's get some Detroit diesel action going. only probably burned off about 10,000 miles of bearing life right there. Well, there you guys go. There's your cold starts on the two Cummins. Since I couldn't do them yesterday because, what's the word I'm looking for? I am retarded. That's it. But anyway, technology did not get the better of me today, so there you go. I am now going to turn on the heater in this barn because it's cold out. I got to work outside, but that gives me some place to come back in here and warm up in between bouts of cutting and welding. So we're going on that. I'll show you what I accomplished when I'm done. All right, guys. Well, that took far longer than planned, but we've got our relay valve on. It always happens. Old trucks. Lots of stuff. This valve is just slightly different than, especially the mounting block and where the ports are in relation to the mounting block versus the old one. I mean, everything else was right. So I ended up torching the old bolts out. I just bent this bracket right here into an L. That got me basically to where everything would reach. I did have to unbolt this from this rear cross member, which I literally just bent it slightly and it snapped because I was expecting that. Just had this little crapped out old bolt holding it on. This is all gonna have to go away anyway, so it's just sitting there now, but regardless. Set this hose onto my hot bracket after I bent it and put a hole in it, so I had to cut that one back. Played hell with the nut and ferrule on that. This one was seized up, had to cut it out and, you know, get rid of the old little section of nylon tubing. It needed to be cut back anyway based on the new mounting position, but played hell with that one. But everything is on. She's nice and tight, and those rear brakes work like nobody's business. So it's drivable. I just took it for a little spin and runs great as always, and she has proper brakes now, so that's done. I don't feel like getting into this. I swept up the driveway a little bit here, prep for tomorrow. I just don't feel like tearing into this today. It's going on 3 o'clock, which means this time of year it's basically almost dark in Michigan. So I'll deal with this tomorrow with a fresh head. I'm gonna load up these torches in the gator and see about maybe just getting that bed torched off across the street. That seems like it's getting cold too, so of course it's gonna be cold tomorrow, don't get me wrong, but I'll bundle up a little more for that. But a little heat from the torches aren't gonna hurt anything, so I'll run over there, try to get that done just so it's off my plate, and then we can just focus on floor storm. All right, guys, well, sorry for the trees in the way. I think I've got the body all torched off. I figure I might as well have a little fun with it and use the Cummins truck, because we're really, they don't give a shit about it, but it's old and crusty, and basically it's just a donor motor at this point. So we're gonna hook a chain to it and see if we can just split this thing into 3 pieces. Well, there we go. I think no one of those pieces, I don't think, is any more than about 3,000 pounds. I'd be very surprised if they were, which means I can lift them with a skid steer. So we're going to get picked up, put on a trailer, and stack them full of other scrap, take them to the scrap yard next week or the week after. So. And we got that fun with the Cummins truck. Love that. This day. All right, well, there's the carnage. I think we've pretty much got everything cut out. As you can see, luckily, cab support, framework, whatever you want to call it, is all in surprisingly good shape. There was a mouse nest down in that one, right about there. See what's left of it, and I found a big mouse nest over on the side of the L10 over there. But I mean, all in all, and again, this is the bad side. I'm sure I'll find more on the passenger or the driver's side than what I initially see, but it's way less than this side. So, you know, I had a series of little cuts out all over the place where I had bad metal, and then there was actually a chunk of discombobulated, squared off edges, but good steel in the middle mostly. And I'm like, why do I want to do all that welding and cutting? So I guess I can back up a little here for you. So anyway, I'm just going to do one big piece in here. So cleaned it up. So I took the air chisel and went through on all the spot welds there. Well, I'm about to clean everything up and grind it smooth and with the flap wheel and have it ready for probably shoot a little. I've got some chassis saver. I may or may not use some of that, brush it on. Anyway, do some prep, and then we'll measure this out and probably do it in two pieces. We'll do the floor first and get, you know, this whole chunk in. I got that little patch up there right in front of the shifter, and then we'll do this other spot on the angle. This is the worst that I can't. We're getting into some iffy stuff there, but it is what it is. I think we can still clean that up pretty good. And then there's a weird profile I had to take off right there, and it just has a little bulge for the door seal, which obviously, see, that's why we're replacing these doors. But you know what I may do instead is just put straight steel back on there, or to be honest with you, not put anything back on and just do a bigger bulb seal right there. And that would solve those problems. In fact, I just decided that's exactly what we're doing. Problem solved. Okay guys, so I got my copyright issues with YouTube, so we'll turn the radio down. So I just spent a few minutes making a cardboard template for this floor patch. I want to show you, I don't know what the chances are, but this is exactly the size, like exactly the exterior dimensions of this piece of steel I bought, which is, I believe, a 2x3 sheet. So even literally down to the fact that you can see my note there that I want an extra 1.5 inches going that way. There's my 1.5 inches. We literally come right to the edge. So really minimal cutting, and I'll be lucky if I have enough to finish the two little small patches on the passenger side. This is just a flat section, so I still need to do that angle piece that goes up. I've got some other flat stock sitting around, so I should be able to make something work. So crazy. So I'm gonna get this cut out. Then probably I'm gonna prime and paint the underside, otherwise it's just gonna rust immediately. And we'll do some, I don't know. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Sound fun? All right guys, well, what a nasty little afternoon it turned into. I hate working outside. I freaking hate it. Well, I love working outside, but not on projects like this. So the Loadstar is going to the shop this week, so I'm not doing this again. Too cold, too wet. Anyway, I hate sheet metal welding, just so you know, but we're boxed in all the way around. I don't have that much to weld to here. We got to get creative on this side, and vast majority of my tacks didn't hold once I heated around the perimeter. They all popped. So I think we're going to put some self-tappers in there. That's going to work awesome. You're never going to see this floor again. It's going to get covered in Dynamat and then fake wood floor, and so why bother with all that? So anyway, but we got most of it done. You can see I did some chassis saver on, you know, kind of this 2/3 of the cab too. We'll work on this again next weekend. Get this side finished up. That side should be a lot faster. And then I'll show you what else I did today. So I also did, while I was waiting for, you know, I primed and painted the bottom of that new floor pan. So while I was waiting for that to tack up, I roughly cleaned up this shifter plate, and you know, it's starting to dry off now, but that's just sanded up, scuffed it with some 40 grit, and wiped it down and hit it with satin black chassis saver, and did the same thing with the seat, passenger seat. So it was pretty crusty on the bottom, but scuffed that all up, wire wheeled it, and got some chassis saver on. So we'll let that set up for a week, and then later this week or next weekend we'll be able to put some satin black on, spray paint on those, and they'll be ready to go back in. So I think what I'm gonna do, since I'm gonna do this maybe in pieces, is I gotta get online and find some either Dynamat or, you know, something similar, and then I gotta go make a trip to the store and pick out my floor, see what color I want to do, and then we can maybe cruise through this interior relatively quickly. So thanks for watching, guys. Another weekend working on the L9000, and we only get one more weekend of this. I got next weekend I can put some time to it, and then not much though, because the following Saturday we leave for the Florida Keys for 10 days, almost 2 weeks. So I'll have a little hiatus there for 3-4 weeks before I'm back at it with the L9000. But you know, I'd love to get these floors at least welded up and painted next weekend. So we'll see how we do. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a good week.